Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha'Allah, Koholoyim La Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water toward the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf. Just coming to Twitter, another quick lesson. Praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. I wanted to get into this article in the Associated Press. I'm sure a lot of the brothers that's on the tower being watchmen for Israel, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, already know about this. But, hey, some people don't. So we have to continue on, pretty much identifying Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. And, when the scriptures talks about the devil is going into the deceiver, or if it's going into Satan, that word means adversary. And Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, he is the great deceiver. He is an adversary to the Lord. He uses the Bible. He has set up white Jesus to infiltrate the world, which is idolatry. Nowhere in the scriptures does it talk about the Lord being a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. But he has duped the world, and now he's showing his horns. This man is coming down with great wrath because he know that he had but a short time, according to Revelation 12 and 12. So this is again in the Associated Press. Immigration officers assert sweeping power to enter homes without a judge's warrant, memo says, right? So they just like, fuck it, man. They kicking your door. You don't open your door, they're going to batter ram that bitch open. As a matter of fact, that brings back a dream of mine, too, that I done a lesson on, I don't know, maybe about a month ago, where it was just like, I don't know, in the dream, it was like, motherfuckers is, it was like drones had, big stupid ass drones hit the block. And it was like out of the left side of the drone, it was just like a grabber where it just ripped your whole damn front of your house off. Like your front window and your door. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember that dream, and I can remember in that dream, my brother, my oldest brother, and I never, dream about him. But he was in the dream. He was just like, just keep the doors open. And I had the door to the front open and the door to the back open. All the way through. But anyway, that's another lesson. I'm thinking that video, I know I done it maybe a month, maybe a little over a month ago. But anyway, because if they want to come in, they're coming in, man. What the scripture says, to agree with thy adversary quickly. So this is the Washington Associated Press. Federal immigration officers are asserting sweeping powers to forcibly enter people's homes without a judge warrant, according to an internal immigration and customs enforcement memo obtained by the Associated Press, marking a sharp reversal of long-standing guidance meant to respect constitutional limits on government searches. Well, and that shit been over with. Your Constitution was pretty much a wrap during 9/11 when they came out with the Patriot Act and all that shit like that. Man, that shit been done. It's just that now they're just going ahead and they just like ripping that shit up, like, and it's not going to really matter until these Edomites are affected, like these megas. When those megas get affected, that's when it's really going to be something. Because you got a lot of these megas, they don't give a fuck about the Constitution. Now they shout and scream and fight as if they do. This is America, this is our country, and all that shit. But they're, a lot of them, they don't give a fuck about that Constitution when it comes to what Trump is doing until it affects them. Then there's a problem. See, it hasn't affected them yet. And it's coming. You know what I'm saying? You think they're just going to stop with immigrants? Once they get done with that, you know what I'm saying? They're going to target your asses too, because your rights are going to be taken. They got to chip your ass too. they out to chip everybody, man. It ain't like, you get a pass because your ass voted and you got on a mega hat, nigga. That shit ain't gonna make no difference, man. Trump don't give a shit about none of y'all. Because like I said yesterday in the video, you know what I'm saying? These megas, you went out, especially you trailer trash megas, you ones that live in these trailer parks and shit. You motherfuckers can't afford a grit bowl at this man's hotel. Let alone stand at one of his hotels or resorts. He's not reaching back to give you any of this money that his ass is banking on, man. This dude You know, I seen an article yesterday. I spoke on it. Supposedly, he done made a $1.4 billion within 12 months of him being in office. He's filling his bank account. You're not thinking about you regular fucking Americans that went out and voted for him, man. Anyway, it says the memo authorizes ICE officers to use force to enter a residence based solely on a more narrow administrative warrant to arrest someone with a final order of removal, a move that advocates say collides with the Fourth Amendment protections and upends years of advice given to immigrant communities. They like, fuck that. No, we gonna batter ram your damn door in. They just dragged the Jake out, in his boxers, man. They gonna drag you bitches out in your panties. You in the house, you naked. They ain't gonna give a fuck. They might throw you a shirt. They might throw you a robe. But if anything, if they see you naked, they probably gonna take the box. So we're coming. We're in just some Jake. This is Jacob's trouble, man. Coming down the pipe, man. For years, immigrants advocates, legal aid groups, and local governments have urged people not to open their doors to immigration agents unless they are shown a warrant signed by a judge. That guidance is rooted in Supreme Court rulings that generally prohibit law enforcement from entering a home without judicial approval. The ICE directive directly undercuts that advice at a time when arrests are accelerating under the administration's immigration crackdown. So I think they have something that they call a castle law, where basically, hey, because anybody can get that uniform that ICE got. That's why I'm surprised ain't none of these motherfuckers being, pew pew yet. You know what I'm saying? Because you got stories where people are imitating them. They're not actually ICE agents. They're just getting a uniform. They buying the shit online. And they pulling up on people. And they're kidnapping people. So you get to, anybody can get that uniform. If say you got an ops, you don't like this dude. A group of you can get these uniforms, get the little brown, little Desert Storm colors or whatever, little fatigues, get that mask. You can even get the helmet. You can get all that shit online, man. Amazon. Ice shit on, your vest, you got them patches. They looking legit. Because these people, it's not like they pulling up in squad cars. They're jumping out of rental cars. They're jumping out of U-Haul trucks. So anybody can come to your door and say, ICE, we have, we're coming in. Come out, or we're coming in. And you looking like, you don't know who the fuck these people are. It's not like you can see them. You don't know who they are. Your ops can actually literally come and kidnap your ass and your family and take you somewhere and really torture you, man. And it's got nothing to do with law enforcement at all. So it's really rather fucking dangerous for everybody. Because if you're not showing no badges, you don't have no name, you don't have no numbers on, or nothing nobody can say. They're not even answering questions like that. All these videos that you see, you don't see them answering no questions. They don't even be talking. They just be like, hey, get the fuck out of the car. Or other than that, we gonna yank your ass. That's the only talk they talking, man. Force. So it's gonna come to a point where people gonna be like, I don't know who the fuck this is. You fuck around, man, and things coming through the door. It's about to get rowdy, man. But anyway, either way, Trump don't care about your rights, man. Okay, it says the memo itself has not been widely shared with the agency, according to the whistleblower complaint, but its contents have been used to train new ICE officers who are being deployed into cities and towns to implement the president's immigration crackdown. New ICE hires and those still in training are being told to follow the memo's guidance instead of written training materials that actually contradict the memo, according to the whistleblower disclosure. It is unclear how broadly the directive has been applied in immigration enforcement operations. The Associated Press witnessed ICE officers ramming through the front door of a home of a Liberian man in Minneapolis on January 11th with only an administrative warrant, wearing heavy tactical gear and with their rifles drawn. See? They're not giving you an opportunity to open the door. They don't give a fuck about that shit, man, because they already know what's up, because the average person is not going to open the door. The change is almost certain to meet legal challenges and stiff criticism from advocacy groups and immigrant-friendly states and local governments that have spent years successfully urging people not to open their doors unless ICE shows them a warrant signed by a judge. The Associated Press obtained the memo and a whistleblower complaint from an official in Congress who shared it on conditions of anonymity to discuss sensitive documents. The AP verified the authenticity of the accounts in the complaint. Let's see how much more it is to this, because it's quite a long article. I don't want to get it all, but the point is, they can do this, man. It's nothing for them to do this. They don't give a shit about your rights, all that. But like I said again, it's not gonna make any difference until these Edomites. See, the megas gotta be involved and get violated before anybody says anything about this. That's when it's gonna go down. Like when they shot that lady in the damn face in Minnesota. See, she was a Democrat. She was a little carpet muncher or whatever. You know what I'm saying? She was living at LG. They don't care nothing about nothing like that. But let one of these fucking cowboy ranchers, you know what I'm saying, or one of these them January 6th old ass white man and his wife or whoever, they and they come through and they battle ram. We've seen we've seen Esau in certain instances like that, where they've taken on the government. Militias have taken on the government, and the government is back down in certain senses. You know what I'm saying? We've seen things like that. Where they ready to go. They locked and loaded, man. So I didn't want to keep this long. Let me just grab first off, let me get this one in Revelation real quick. Let's get Revelation 12 and 12. I want to get another one in there as well. Revelation 12 and 12. And it reads, "Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he had but a short time." Now the average Christian will see that word devil and be like, yeah, it's the red guy underground. There's a lake of fire that's burning, and he's controlling it, and he's torturing people down there. No, this word devil is going into a deceiver, man. This is Esau. Let's get this word devil real quick. And he's coming down with that great wrath because, hey, Esau is done, man. They so through. It's hilarious, man, watching these people, man, on a day-to-day basis right now. G1228. Prone to slander. Slanderous. Accusing falsely. See? And that's exactly what that word is going into. Applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. And Esau has always been sided with the devil, man. Going back to Cain. They are the reincarnation of Cain, man, because reincarnation is in the scriptures, man. He can't help but do that shit. That's his nature. So it says a traducer, especially Satan, false accuser, devil, slanderer. So when you go into Satan, it's adversary. See? Adversary. One who withstands. Let me get to it. An opponent, especially with the article prefixed Satan, the arch enemy of good. The arch enemy of good. That's Esau. That's the so-called white race, man. That's them. They're the arch enemy of anything that's good. Look at how this man has done GMO foods, telling you that, you know what I'm saying, the Lord didn't make the fruits and vegetables right. We're gonna take the seeds out of the shit. Look at how he's treating the earth, the water, the skies, the breathing, man. Look at the sicknesses that's going on in the earth with this man in charge. Look at everything that's happening, man. This man is the damn devil, bro. You can't get around it, right? And I wanted to get this one too, because see, we can't be afraid when this all jumps off. You see, this is Revelation 2 and 10. It says, "Fear none of these things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil," there you go with that word again, "the devil shall cast some of you into prison." What you think, this red guy gonna come up from underground and he's just gonna cast people into prison? No, he's using a people. Satan is these Edomites, the so-called white race, are the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan on this planet. They're the ones that's gonna grab you up. These are the devils. Verse 10 again, Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So that's our objective right there, and that's something to be praying for too. You know, that we're faithful, man, unto death. That we have the spirit to be faithful unto death, man, so that we can receive that crown of life, man. You know, from Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. And also in Matthew chapter 24, this is something that Yahweh Shai spoke of that will be happening in the end days. Matthew 24:3. Let me start there. And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world? And we have to always qualify that word world. That word world is going into an age. What's going to be the end of this time? What's going to be the end of the rulership of these so-called white people that's terrorizing everybody? Been terrorizing everybody for thousands of years and shit. When is this going to happen is what the disciples is asking the Lord. Verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. And you know, to you people that may be listening to this video and you've never heard the name Yahushua, that's the true name of the Son, Yahushua, which means that he's the Savior or deliverer in the Paleo Hebrew. There was no letter J when the Lord walked the earth. The letter J was invented in 1524 by a grammarian named Giorgio Trissino. So 2,000 years ago, no one was being called Jesus. So when you look in the Greek, it says Iesus or Iesus, however you want to pronounce it. But the Lord was not a Greek. That's a Greek transliteration of his name, not a translation. His name is Yahushua, and the true name of the Father is Yahweh, which means that he exists, or the existing one in the Paleo Hebrew. But let's go forward with what he was saying when the disciples asked him what will be going on before his coming. Okay, so verse 4, Matthew 24:4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am the Messiah or Mashiach, and shall deceive many. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So you're hearing about all these wars, rumors of wars. Trump talking about taking over Greenland. These other nations, European nations, are gathering up forces, and they're sending their troops there and stuff like that. And you got the Iran talk. They want to bomb Iran. You got Israel in play. You got Ukraine and Russia still in play. You got China and Taiwan still rocking out. You got a lot of proxy wars and stuff like that that's going on in the earth. So all these things are happening. Verse 7, it says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And all these things are happening, man. But the point I wanted to get right here, then shall they deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake. Right? And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. So the point that I wanted to make is verse 9 right there. In the New Living Translation, it says, Then you will be arrested, persecuted, and killed. You will be hated over the world because you are my followers. And that's pretty much what Esau is coming down the pipe with, man, because, he knows that he had but a short time. And really, this is going to be, a test, man, so to speak. It's going to be like, are you going to be, you going to hold on? You're going to, reject the Lord? You're going to be like, nah, well, you know what? I really didn't mean that. You know what? I fuck that. Once you start to see people getting tortured, heads being taken off. Because, Esau, he's the ultimate torturer, man. That's how he gets down. He's about that fear. But what does the scripture says? It says, I just came out of that one in Matthew 2:10, where it talks about fear none of these things. So we're not to have no fear, man. You know what I'm saying? We are to, you know, you know, stand strong. Stand proud of this truth. Stand proud of our Lord, man. Because if you reject the Lord, that's a done deal. You don't want to get right there at that moment. You seconds from a crown, and you turn from the plow at the last minute. You better off turning from the plow right now and just going ahead and just being a damn demon and let them 7 spirits hit your ass, man. You know what I'm saying? And you might as well just go ahead and you might get a little bit of fun in. You might as well turn now, as opposed to getting right there to the beheading part, and then you just come on, bro. No, we don't want to be those people. I'm praying to you, how about you? I'm not one of those people, and you brothers and sisters that's listening to this video are not one of those people, man. We want to, the Lord said He's gonna give us what to say. He said, don't be conjuring up no thoughts of what you're gonna say. I'm just praying that hey, the Lord gonna give us exactly what to tell these crackers, man. So it is what it is on that, man. I just wanted to just chop it up on this, and it's like I said, this is in the Associated Press for anybody to pull up on it, because it's quite an article. It's a little more to it. Let me see. So it says recent arrest shine a light on tactics. Yep. They showing you what it is. These people don't care nothing about your Constitution, man. That shit over with. You see how they shot that lady in the fucking face, man? That lady she had her damn dog in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? She was dropping off her kids at school. They didn't give a fuck. Okay, it says memo shown to select officials. Yep. Yeah, man. It says they're limited in the hours they can go into the home. After 6 a.m. and before 10 p.m. The people inside must be given a reasonable chance to act lawfully, but if that doesn't work, the memo says they can use force to go in. Yep. Should the alien refuse admittance, ICE officers and agents should use only a necessary and reasonable amount of force to enter the alien's residence, following proper notification. Hey, these fucking Edomites that just shows you how hypocritical these people is. And the Lord, He hates a hypocrite, man. He hates a hypocrite. You people are so fucking hypocritical. ICE officers are told to rely solely on administrative warrants. So they fuck the judge, fuck the Supreme Court, fuck the Constitution. You go in there and you do what we told you to do, and that's that. And they paying them good enough money, man. Now, we don't see another election, because that's pretty much what Trump is he's steamrolling to. May not be another election, man. We doubt it. That's just me speaking as a man. I doubt it, but who knows? Because if there's another election, with Trump, he may have immunity, but all those other people that's involved, man, they gonna get. And we're praying that this shit don't even last that long. We're praying that Trump just go ahead and be the one. He go ahead and get the job done, and they issue this damn chip, because that's all. We're waiting on this microchip to come through, the mark of the beast, World War III. And then, from there, man, hey, it's steady flowing to get the hell out of here at that point. So we're praying that Trump continues with what he's doing. He rile up the people, let them go ahead, and the Egyptian get at the Egyptian, go ahead and start this civil war shit. All this shit, man. We need all of it to jump on off, man. So we gotta, just stay focused, man. Stay focused, because there's a lot going on out here. So I'm gonna end out there. Like I said again, if any of you brothers want to get into this is the Associated Press. Immigration officers assert sweeping powers to enter homes without judges' warrants. Yep. So, and this is a pretty reputable little news station or whatever. They've been around for quite some time. Give or take, you still got to filter stuff, but overall, hey, it's on the news. You can't miss this stuff. You can clearly see this man don't give a shit about no Constitution or your rights and none of that shit. That shit is not happening. They just grabbed up on some Native American Indians, man. Like the original people that was here. Like you got some fucking nerves, man. These like I said, hey, as a matter of fact, let me grab that scripture. I quoted it. You Edomites, no one is gonna have. The Lord is not gonna have any mercy whatsoever on you as a people because you've shown no mercy, man. You are the most hypocritical fucking people on the planet. Yeah, Job 20:5. Let me see. Let me start at verse 4. Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed upon earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment? Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. And dung is going into taking a number two to you, his own shit, man. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. The eye also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. His children shall seek to please the poor, and his hands shall restore their goods. His bones are full of sin of the youth of his youth, which shall lie down with him in the dust. Though wickedness be sweet in his mouth, though he hide it under his tongue, though he spare it and forsake it not, but keep it still within his mouth, yet his meat in his bowels is turned. It is the gall of ash within him. He has swallowed down riches, and he shall vomit them up again. Yahweh shall cast them out of his belly, man. He shall suck the poison of ash. The viper's tongue shall slay him. He shall not see the rivers, the floods, the brooks of honey and butter. But overall, Esau is done. He's done. The joy of the hypocrite, that's the point that I wanted to get. That joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. See, they're triumphing. What does it say? They're triumphing, that the triumphing of the wicked, verse 5 again, that the triumphing of the wicked, let me read it in the NLT, New Living Translation. The triumph of the wicked has been short-lived, and the joy of the godless has been only temporary. Yep. And that's being he's a fucking hypocrite, bro. Here you go, you stole every damn thing. And then you want to get to calling everybody immigrants after you. You don't belong here. It's crazy. It's just crazy as fuck, bro. That this, but see, that's what it has to happen this way. It has to happen this way, because the cries of the Israelites are reaching unto the Lord, man, and the Lord sees this man and knows this man, so the Lord is going to deal with him, because the Lord, he hates a damn hypocrite, man. And then Esau, he's the wicked anyway. He's done his job. Overall, the Lord created him to do the shit that he's doing anyway. And it's just time for that shit to stop, man. It's coming to a point where he's just gonna be, taken down. And it's gonna be beautiful. You know why it's gonna be beautiful? Because he don't think that it can never happen. That's the thing. He don't think that he can ever be brought down. He thinks that this shit is just gonna carry on, for another 100 years, 200 years. Somebody probably put it in Trump's ear. Somebody probably done pulled him to the side and say, hey, look, man, you are Nero back on the planet, and you're going to come back again after you die. A couple of generations. Just, set everything up, for your sons. I wouldn't doubt it, man. If this motherfucker was to die, they have his son to be, I can't even say president later. He'd be king later, because there wouldn't be no damn elections, man. It wouldn't even be no elections. They'll just bring that weird ass son of his right on in, man. So I'm gonna end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. With that, Kwame Yashala and a Bible Ball.